and let us all do we can to build a better future.
If there's one thing that enrages me, well, there's a lot of things that get me mad, but the one thing I despise, and this kind of hits close home to me, is people who are false valor, who pretend to have served in the military and did not. I served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, served them honorably. I got out, went to college, I did my time, did all of it. But an article caught my attention, and I want to give a proper shout out to this individual who hooked me up to this and kind of just, hey, tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you want a good laugh? Check this out. So shout out to Mike Tunick. He follows us on Twitter and on Instagram. Very good friend of the show, has been with us for quite some time. So Mike, personally, thank you. Thank you for these links that you sent me. It has to deal with the conflict in Ukraine. So first, we all know about Malcolm Nance, and we'll be talking about good old Nance Malcolm. But I want to pull up this article here first. It's from the Insider, and again, shout out to you, Mike, for giving me a heads up about this. Can't thank you enough. So, as it stands, a home improvement contractor from Connecticut who went to fight in Ukraine posted a video of his location online, revealing his unit's location, and then admitted he falsified his military record. What? And again, this article is about, 3 days old right now? So let's talk about it. After Russia, Putin, launched its invasion of Ukraine last year, groups of Americans, many of them U.S. military veterans, committed themselves to fight the conflict to aid the Ukrainian government in battling back Moscow's advances. But a recent report by the New York Times detailed how many of those volunteers became mired in infighting, jeopardizing the success of the war effort. If it's so successful, why are we giving billions of dollars? You'd think we'd want it by now. While some poured money down the toilet after purchasing less effective military gear because some people want to think they're Rambo. Yeah, you got some dummies who think they're Rambo. And others have sought to make money off the conflict because there's always going to be scumbags. The Times spoke with 30 volunteers, fighters, and officials in both the U.S. and Ukraine about these situations. In one case, a retired Marine lieutenant colonel may have potentially exported military technology illegally, while in another case, an ex-army soldier came to Ukraine to aid the war effort, but later defected to Russia. Someone get Rachel Maddow. We got a story for her. Hey, Rachel, you got your bread and butter coming. Seriously, Mike. This email you sent me, it's a beautiful, spicy Italian food. And a Connecticut man who went to fight in Ukraine and has posted his location on the battlefield admitted to the Times that he falsified his military report, previously claiming to be a Marine. Oh, God. I want to kick him in his teeth. Well, some volunteers who went to Ukraine were killed in the war. Well, no doubt, that's what happens when you go to war. You die. There's a chance you might not come back. The spotlight on the role of volunteers has grown exponentially as the conflict has moved past the 1-year mark. I had to tell a million lies to get ahead. Just remember, billions of dollars is going into this war. But yet, we get no clean drinking water. Isn't that funny? Our air is being polluted. Our soil is being polluted. Trains are derailing. Bridges are falling apart. Small businesses being shut down. But billions are going to Ukraine. Isn't that just funny? Isn't that just hilarious? So there you go. In the interviews conducted by the Times, individuals told the newspaper of errors and disputes that have limited the effectiveness of the volunteer effort since Russia invaded Ukraine in February of 2022. My birth month. At the start of the war, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky encouraged allies to help the country defend itself against Russian forces. Well, Ukraine's not part of NATO. So, big old question to ask. Why are we there? Hey, audience, be creative with your answers. Type it in the comment section below. There's no such thing as a wrong answer. While some individuals joined the International Legion, which was created by Ukraine last year as a foreign military unit, others aided by fundraising efforts for the conflict. James Vasquez, a home improvement contractor, here's that scumbag from Connecticut who made waves when he left Ukraine last year, was hailed as an ex-Army staff sergeant who decided to aid the country in fighting for its freedom. But according to the Times, Vasquez not only revealed the exact location of his unit after publishing a video online, he misrepresented his service. Vasquez was never sent to Kuwait or Iraq, according to a Pentagon spokeswoman who spoke with the Times, and apparently misrepresented his duties and rank during a short stint in the Army Reserves. Huh, interesting. Let me just scroll back up here real quick. Something just caught my attention. Just want to make sure this is correct. So, Connecticut man, Marine. Okay, falsified his reports. So, wait, Army and Marine Corps is two different things altogether, insider. Ex-Army. Hold on. Is this the same person? Home improvement contractor from Connecticut, ex-Army staff sergeant. And then right up here, a Connecticut man who went to fight in Ukraine has posted his location, claiming to be Marine. Unless they're two different people, okay then. But if it's the same person, Marine Corps and Army, two different things, insider. Get it right. Who proofread this article? See, goddamn, this is why corporate media needs to go. I don't know who's running this stuff, but they need to start getting their act together. So apparently this Jagoff Vasquez had no issues gaining access to weaponry while in Ukraine, which included American rifles, but he was unsure where they originated. Okay, Vasquez, then why are you even talking? I'm not exactly sure, he told the Times in a text exchange. We have plenty. Vasquez fought in Ukraine until last week when the Times probed him about his military record. He then deactivated his Twitter account and stated he was considering leaving the country because he had been fighting alongside soldiers without requisite military contract. Okay, well, you went there as a volunteer. Sometimes you got to suck it up, buddy. All right, well, hey, I guess he no longer believes in fighting for freedom, huh? Again, nothing but frauds. He told Times that he had been booted from the Army, but would not delve into the reasoning. Okay. Still, he revealed that for years, he'd been dishonest about his military record. I had to tell a million lies to get ahead. Okay. So, hey, look, everybody. Now we're going to get to the piece de resistance. Nance Malcolm. Another issue that has risen in wasteful spending, driven not by malice, but by individuals unaware of the efficiency of certain tools. For example, Mira Aid, which is commanded by a Canadian lieutenant colonel, used roughly $100,000 in donated money to purchase night vision devices. They wound up being less effective than the ones made in China, per documents reviewed by the Times. After the volunteer group, Ripley's Heroes, had spent roughly $63,000 on night and thermal vision devices, some of the equipment fell under U.S. export restrictions. And Ripley's Heroes also purchased $25,000 for remote control reconnaissance cars in 2022. But they have yet to be delivered, tied up by Polish authorities due to legal concerns. I bet those like little remote control cars, they're like RCs, and the Polish authorities are just playing with them. I never had a chance to ever own an RC car. Always wanted one. So yeah, scumbags. Now let's talk about our friend Malcolm Nance, an ex-Army cryptologist and well-known cable news commentator. You know, Malcolm Nance, that's it. He said, he's basically a highly unstable character who is known to be a professional fuck-up and mentally ill. Nance told the paper he came to Ukraine. Again, he's talking about, that all these people. Nance told the paper that he came to Ukraine to offer some structure to the Legion, but he came wrapped up in some infighting surrounding the conflict, calling out a one-time ally as fat, slamming an associate as a verified con artist, according to the Times. Now, Nance is no longer in Ukraine, Nancy, but hasn't stopped his fundraising efforts with another group of allies, which includes Ben Lackey, who was once in the Legion. Wow, look at that. Now, apparently, Lanky told Legion members that he was a Marine and said that he had been an assistant manager at Longhorn Steakhouse. But the Pentagon told the Times that Lanky Lackey didn't have any military experience, and the steakhouse chain disclosed that he was never a server and not an assistant manager. You lied twice. How dare you disrespect the Marine Corps, and how dare you disrespect Longhorn Steakhouse? What a scumbag. So here, let's focus a little bit more on old Nancy. All right, first, how can we all forget this? If this doesn't show you confidence. Oh, man, look at this. Look at this guy. Remember when he did this?
When the invasion happened, I had friends who were in Donetsk, who were in the Ukrainian army, who were writing to us and telling us, we're not going to survive tonight. We've been hit 500 times. These are graduates of Defense Language Institute. These were my friends. And, as the more I saw of the war going on, the more I thought, I'm done talking. All right. It's time to take action here. So about a month ago, I joined the.
So in other words, good old Nancy Malcolm's going to run to the front line with his body armor. I mean, come on, dude. You look like a clown. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? If you're in a war zone, why the hell are you in a forested area with a bright light? Unless you're somewhere safe. But I mean, come on, buddy. You just should write like a message, just so you know, because technically you're a high profile person of interest in the war zone. You're an MSN or BS DNC news commentator. You served in the Navy, right? You're like a high profile person. You're shining a light on yourself. How to get murked in a war zone 101 by Nancy Malcolm. Hold on. Let's rewind that again.
The invasion happened. I had friends who were in Donetsk, who were in the Ukrainian army, who were writing to us and telling us, we're not going to survive tonight. We've been hit 500 times.
500 times?
These graduates of Defense Language Institute, these were my friends. And, as the more I saw of the war going on, the more I thought, I'm done talking.
He's done talking.
It's time to take action here. So about a month ago, I joined the International Legion here in Ukraine, and I am here to help this country fight, what essentially is a war of extermination. This is an existential war, and Russia has bought it to these people, and they are mass murdering civilians. And there are people here like me.
I wonder if they're ever going to talk about what's happening in Ukraine, like what the Ukrainian forces are doing too. I mean, war is a brutal thing there, Nancy. You should know that. God, look at the way he's holding his weapon too. It's completely ineffective. God, dude, he's got to be either this is a green screen, this is in a border country to Ukraine, or he's in a safe green zone area in Ukraine. Because nobody in their right mind, if they're on the front lines or near any kind of conflict zone, would set up this bright light. It's like, hey, why doesn't somebody shoot me? All right. But here's how you know somebody's out of their element. You guys want to laugh? Now, this came out April 20th of 2022. But clearly, Nancy Malcolm is out of his element. He's out of his element. Like that scene from The Big Lebowski. You're out of your element. Out of your element. Here. Look. Right here.
Unique territory.
Uh-oh. Russian missile strike during NBC interview.
Not going down. No. But I've never seen a fast mover.
Uh-oh. What? Uh-oh.
Where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
Yeah, I heard one boom. Are we in an air raid?
Are we in an air raid?
Yeah, we are. We had the air raid. So there's another coming.
Wait, there'll be 3.
Look at him. Look at him. He's panicking. Now, look, here's the thing. I'd be panicking too, right? If there was like an air raid here in Chicago, right? But if you go to a war zone like that and you're trying to put on this persona, because remember that previous video where he is on BS, DNC? Like, I'm here to fight. Dude, you're out of your element. You're out of your element.
We are. We had the air raid. So there's another coming.
Wait, there'll be 3. Stand by.
Uh-oh.
If it was fired from a ship, we're getting hit. That's a 500-pound bomb.
We're getting hit.
Let's get the boarding on.
That's
Oh, look at his watch.
It's coming from the east, southeast. So those are caliber anti-ship missiles. They're striking to the west. Striking to the west, that's 2. We should get at least one more. That wasn't a plane, it was a cruise missile.
That was a cruise missile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for one more. They're fired in 30-second interval. They fire them in 30-second intervals.
If it's happening, then go ahead, seek shelter, right? But here's how I know they might be dramatizing things, right? Being over dramatic. There's still people out there, and there's cars and traffic going on. Seems like they're in a little public park area. You know? Some don't add up. Some don't add up, Bobby.
Smoke.
There we go.
Stand by. 3, cruise missile, caliber.
Look.
Stand by.
Uh-huh.
5, 6, 8, 9,
10.
10, 11.
Yeah, there
12,
it is. There's the
13,
smoke.
13.
There's the smoke.
Uh-huh.
That's 3.
So 3 cruise missiles.
Yeah.
Quit repeating each other. If it's so dangerous, go to a bomb shelter right now. You don't stand out there and open like, duh. Oh, I'm looking around.
Stand by.
See, hold on. Steve Wolfbrand, feet don't fail me now. See, now, if there were something happening over here in Chicago, hey, find shelter right away. I'm not going to be looking around like, no, man, duck and cover. When you don't hear the explosions, that's when you know you're dead.
Stand by. 4.
Where's the sound?
There he is. There he is.
Who? How dare you? Hold on. First of all, how dare you assume that missile's gender? Thank you, TikTok, for that video. Oh, that is just so funny. That is funny. That's hilarious. It's funny because it's funny. And I find it funny. All right. Everyone should be laughing at it. So, Ian, thank you so much. A day later, I still can't stop laughing at this video. It's a year later, and no one can stop laughing at this video. Stand by. Let's all look around like you're a bunch of idiots. No, we're being bombed. All right, shelter time. Up, go. Don't stand around and look around, dummies. So I want to pull up this last article here. Shout out to our fantastic friends at Fox News. Thanks, Tucker. You're doing great, especially in talking about the Imperial Senate. So, Nancy Malcolm, hey, Fox, we got Tucker. I need you to talk to these people. when it comes down to MSNBC, just call them a centrist, okay? This far left thing. Let's stop with that. So, Nancy Malcolm, the centrist BS-DNC analysis, who joined the war effort in Ukraine to much fanfare last year, was exposed in a New York Times article Saturday as having generated chaos in a legion of hastily assembled foreign fighters. Nance previously grabbed headlines after leaving his position at BS-DNC to join the International Legion of Territorial Defense of Ukraine. That's stupid a name. That's a dumb name. In March of 2022, the Legion was hastily formed, organized by the Ukrainian government that hardly spent time vetting volunteers, the Times reported. Although Nance, as a former senior chief petty officer for the Navy, attempted to organize the system, the article suggested his efforts were in vain. Nance Malcolm, a former Navy cryptologist and BS-DNC commentator, arrived in Ukraine last year and made a plan to bring order and discipline to the Legion. Hold on. I'm sorry. We'll get right back to this article. We'll get right back to that. But I just gotta say, does this look like the face that can bring order and discipline to any legion? The answer is no. Okay, and especially wearing that poppin' fresh military uniform. You know, he looks like like a horribly dime store cheap version of the Pillsbury Doughboy. Okay, there, I said it. So they continue. Today, Nancy is involved in a messy, distracting power struggle. Often it plays out on Twitter, where Mr. Nancy taunted one former ally as fat, body positivity, and associated as a verified con artist. How dare you assume? The tweet reference came from Monday when Nancy harshly criticized the National Security Media's Twitter account. Accusations like that you're fat Ashed up, washed up, fried, drunk IT guy who wears a homemade Flavor Flav size accredited journalist badge and a laughing stock at media hubs who works closely with a verified con artist and then steals donations to the army using my name. Nancy tweeted, "Whoa, Nancy! Nancy Malcolm, holy cow, buddy. Be nice." In addition, the article recounted an instance of Nancy accusing a pro-Ukrainian fundraiser group of fraud without evidence and labeling a fellow Legion member as a possible Russian spy. Oh, all that time's covering Russiagate. Nancy, an enthusiastic proponent of Russiagate, once claimed former President Donald Trump was compromised by Russia as early as 1977. What? He accused a pro-Ukraine fundraising group of fraud, providing no evidence. Hey, buddy, you work for BSDNC. You need to have evidence. Oh, wait, he works for BSDNC, so no. After arguing with two Legion administrators, Mr. Nancy wrote a counterintelligence report trying to get them fired. Central to that report is an accusation that one Legion official, Mbisi Abigail Fayek, fraudulently tried to buy a house on an Australian TV on an Australian reality TV show with money she didn't have. What? He labeled her as a potential Russian spy, offering no evidence. Ms. Fayek denied the accusations and remains with the Legion, the Times wrote. Oh my goodness, buddy. Well, the reports note that Nancy has left Ukraine. The former BSDNC analysis apparently continues fundraising with a new group of allies, including a volunteer who lied about being a U.S. Marine so he could join the Legion. Huh. Geez, Nancy, you keep on shooting yourself in the foot, buddy. Well, the New York Times article acknowledged that several volunteers came to Ukraine selflessly and acted with heroism. Accounts for more than 100 pages of documents from the inside volunteer groups and more than 30 volunteers, fighters, fundraisers, donors, and American Ukrainian officials fretted over the many who had stolen valor and wasted money. Oh, my goodness. So here, one last time so we can get a good laugh. This is what happens when you try and get into an element that you have no business being part of. Again, look at his demeanor.
Unique territory.
Is that going down?
No.
Uh-oh.
I've never seen a fast mover.
Uh-oh.
Where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
Yeah, I heard one boom.
Are we in an air raid?
Are we in air raid? Come on, dude.
Yeah, we are. We had the air raid. There's another coming.
Wait, there'll be 3. Stand by.
Look,
If it was fired,
again, hey, cameraman. Okay, stay off the guy in the yellow jacket and start focusing in on the cars in the background. Where's the air raid siren? Can we not hear it? Why is there regular traffic? If this is a city that's being constantly bombarded, hey, why is there ongoing traffic in the background there, buddy?
from a ship, we're getting hit. That's a fire.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing things. I'll let you, the audience, decide. But if you hear something like that, you seek shelter right away. Feet don't fail me now.
500-pound bomb.
Let's get the body on.
That's right, Skibby. Air raid without a siren. Got it.
It's coming from the east.
Coming from the east.
So those are Caliber ship missiles. They're striking to the west. Striking to the west. That's 2. We should get at least 1 more. That wasn't a plane. It was a cruise missile.
That was a cruise missile.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, definitely. Let's see in the live stream chat. First of all, we're in a war zone. Bright yellow jacket. Please, somebody pop me 101.
Wait for 1 more. They're fired in 30-second
there are
intervals. They fire them in 30-second intervals. Smoke.
There we go.
Stand by.
Stand by.
3. Cruise missile. Caliber.
Look.
Stand by. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Whoa!
There it
Oh, I just noticed it. There's a lady in the background. Wait. Right there. Okay, right there, bottom. You'll see her. I'm gonna play it.
10.
Okay, if it's bombing, hey, guys, everything looks fine to me.
11.
Yeah, there
12,
it is. There's the
13,
smoke.
13.
There's the smoke.
That's 3.
So 3 cruise missiles.
Yeah. Stand by. Stand by. 4.
4. They're
Let's see him. There he is. There he is. There he is.
Okay, that's fake. I'm sorry. But this is a bunch of BS from BSDNC. But who's not surprised with the actions of, well, people who want to be heroes? Again, what's the final note we could take away from this? Beware of those who stick their chest out and say, I'm going to be tough. Beware of those who say they want to be a hero. Because usually they're frauds and liars. And I find it interesting now as this war continues on with Ukraine, as billions of dollars are continuing being flushed down the toilet. I like how more and more the narrative is slowly changing. Because it wasn't too long ago where the Nord Stream pipeline last year was deemed as Russia doing it to, it wasn't Russia. Well, if it wasn't Russia, who could it be? It was a pro-Ukrainian group that did it. How they get the resources to do that there, buddies? How come we're spending billions of dollars for this war, and yet there's no attempt for diplomacy? What's going on? Why is it still ongoing? Seems to me that there's more of incentive to have this war as a distraction, but also at the same time, too, waste our treasury in on it. Side note, before the war even started, as the Russian tanks were getting close to the border, and yes, I've said this before, not to sound like a broken record, but our politicians in the United States Senate and House, they do a lot of insider trading. They're usually informed about making big decisions with their stocks and bonds. And well, as those Russian tanks were getting close to the Ukrainian border, that are also keen-eyed, compassionate senators and House representatives, did they quickly call for a meeting in the Capitol building and get Biden there and call for diplomatic actions? No, what they did, they called their broker. And they made a killing last year. A huge killing last year. It's one big club, and you ain't in it. And we're surrounded by frauds and jagoffs.